Josh Allen has officially hammered in the MVP in the NFL over the last 4 games, and it all started with a gutsy win versus Kansas City to start this whole ordeal. The MVP is all about narrative building. Look at the last 4 weeks. First, you beat a Kansas City team that was undefeated at the time. Josh Allen throws for 262, rushes for 55, multiple touchdowns. They look great against Kansas City. Following that up with the other team that made the Super Bowl last year in the snow, nationally televised game. 35-10 victory over San Francisco. Then in Los Angeles, going down big to start the game, to storm back and almost secure a victory and put up 6 touchdowns in that game is unreal. Last but not least, you go into the Detroit Lions home. They are on fire, probably the hottest team in football, and you secure yet another major victory by putting up 48 points. Last 2 games, 42 points and 48 points. Josh Allen has looked absolutely incredible. Over these 4 games, he's averaging 334 yards total per game, rushing and passing, 15 touchdowns, and just 1 interception. Unreal. Now, back to what I was saying earlier, we're talking about narrative building here. The MVP, of course, is about the quote-unquote best player, but is it always the most valuable? It's questionable, but here there is an extremely strong case for Josh Allen's value on this Bills team. Think about what this team lost in the offseason. Not only did they have a disappointing end to the year in the playoffs, but then they lose their wide receiver number 1, supposedly one of Josh Allen's best friends in Stephon Diggs, who did not have a good season last year in terms of the drama surrounding him and the rest of this team. They lost 6 other Pro Bowlers, both on the offensive line and Mitch Morse. The defense with guys like Trey White and Jordan Poyer. The list can go on and on. Josh Allen, the odds were stacked against him. The one thing that he has going into this season in his favor is that this division has been an absolute mess. Tua has had a horrible concussion, caused him to miss a lot of time this year. Aaron Rodgers and the Jets have completely fallen apart, an unreal collapse. And then last but not least, of course, the Patriots are in a rebuild. Bill Belichick is fired in the offseason. But regardless, the narrative here was that Josh Allen was missing basically all of the pieces that made this Bills team relevant outside him over the last 5 years. And he has come out this year and led the Bills to be 11-3. They've already clinched the division, and they have a slim chance at being the number 1 seed in the conference and securing a bye week. If all of those things don't speak to you most valuable, I don't know what does. Now, of course, people will talk about guys like Lamar Jackson, who is personally my favorite quarterback to watch in the league. I am one of the biggest fans of Lamar. If you don't believe me, go check out my social medias. I'm all over Lamar Jackson. But he has had a better statistical year. But look at the roster around him. This team was built for Lamar. I don't necessarily think I can say the same thing about Josh Allen, not because the Bills haven't done a good job of building a roster, but just because they had to reconstruct it this offseason so quickly to respond to this year and try to make them competitive. Now, they did a good job, and guys like Mac Hollins and rookie Keon Coleman and Dalton Kincaid have stepped up in the spots that they needed to. But the run game, by all means, is not dominant. The defense hasn't shown that they are of the elite 2000s Baltimore Ravens defense type stuff. I don't buy that this team was one of the top 5, maybe even top 10 in the league. So for Josh Allen to take them and have amazing wins versus teams like the Kansas City Chiefs, like the 49ers, like the Lions, that to me says MVP. Now, can he somehow mess this up? Absolutely. But to me, this is a lock as long as the Bills go, I guess, 1-2 to close out the year. And think about this. They played the Patriots at home, the Jets at home, and then at the Patriots. So is there a lot of room there for Josh Allen to fall flat on his face? Not really. I think this is pretty much a lock for MVP. He's earned it. And on top of that, all of the narratives are pointing his direction. There's not another quarterback that is competing for a division title, potentially a conference title, that has the quote-unquote deserving attribute next to him. Maybe Lamar, but there's voter fatigue. I don't think the voters will vote for him nearly as much as they have in the past. So with that being said, Josh Allen, MVP. I think he's earned it. What do you guys think in the comments? Let me know who your MVP is. We can see guys like Joe Burrow maybe get some consideration just because of the numbers he's putting up, but you got to win games. That's what Josh Allen's done. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.